ドジャースの山本由伸は日本時間5日、本拠地で行われたパドレス戦に先発登板し、7回を3安打無失点、10奪三振の快投で今季9勝目をマークしました。地元放送局、スポーツネット LA のグラウンドインタビューに応じたフレディ・フリーマンは、由伸は由伸だからね。彼は球界屈指の投手。投げたいところにボールを投げられるんだ。と大絶賛しました。その他、多くの関係者が山本由伸の投球を称賛しました。これらの模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
First one, I think everyone knows Shohei Ohtani his 6 All-Star games. So this is number 10 for him, and so it's interesting because he's been so good for us in so many ways, and he hasn't been healthy the last couple years and still playing and performing at a high level. But when this guy is right, man, he's withstood the test of time, and he's healthy and he's playing as good a baseball as he's played in a long time. So, Freddie, congratulations. This guy's a dog. This is second All-Star appearance, and just keeps his mouth shut, prepares every single day, and I don't know where we'd be without this guy. So this next guy, man, it's a pleasure to have him on our team. He makes everybody better. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. This is a unique tidbit that someone shared with me today. So he's made the All-Star team in 3 different positions. And so it's been, I think, 5 years since his last All-Star game. So he came on the scene, came out guns a-blazing, a couple All-Star games, and then hasn't made an All-Star team in 5 years. So as a second baseman, as a first baseman, and for me, I just seen so much growth in this guy, and he's got his son Wyatt with him right now. So this is a really great one, Max. Congratulations, number 3. Come on, Wyatt. Here you go, Wyatt. Your daddy's an all-star. This is a good one, man. This is a good one. So Andy Pages, about 4 or 5 years ago, from Cuba, tough kid, could hit, could throw, didn't like the weight room, didn't think he needed the weight room, never hit a cutoff man. And then, I think it was maybe during COVID or something like that. One year he came back after COVID and really got his body into shape. He had the luxury of watching a lot of great major league players work. And he's a homegrown Dodger coming up. And for us as an organization to get him when he was however old he was from Cuba to come up and be an all-star. And now when there's a lot of people that said Andy could not play major league center field. And this guy with Dino, with George, with Clayton has worked his ass off to be an elite center fielder for the best team in baseball. And Andy, you keep getting better. And I know last year you wanted it so bad, it didn't happen for Andy last year. But this year, I can speak for everyone in this room. Andy, you deserve to be a Major League All-Star, and you were starting for the National League this year. Very grateful for everyone helping support us, because we wouldn't get to do this if it weren't for all of you guys. So thank you guys very much, and let's finish out the first half great though. We're playing good baseball. We're playing focused baseball, so this is a great celebration for guys that deserve it. But let's finish strong. Let's keep going, guys. So thank you guys very much.
Yeah, and another reason to celebrate because the All-Star news that came down, because on our nation's 250th birthday, Major League Baseball announced who is going to be going to our nation's birthplace of Philadelphia a week from Tuesday for the All-Star game. We already knew Shohei Ohtani was going to be a starter as the DH, and we found out who's going to be joining him in Philly. Let's get right to it. On the pitching side, the World Series MVP Yoshinobu Yamamoto's heading to Philadelphia. His second straight All-Star nod. Oral Yoshi with 8 wins and a 2.67 ERA.
Well, when you pitch for the world champion, went back-to-back, and you're a significant part of that. Your reputation is already out there on the streets, but he continues to perform. His hot streak at the beginning of the year, the hot streak he's on right now. He is the ace of the best team in baseball, and so there's no doubt that he should be on this team. Hopefully, he's feeling good, maybe gets an inning, and shows people the talents once more on the national stage.
Boy, it suddenly got really loud here. Recapping the 5 Dodgers to make the All-Star team. Freddie Freeman hitting .293 with 14 homers, 47 RBIs. Max Muncy at a career-best .268 right now with 17 home runs, 39 RBIs. The 4-time MVP Shohei Ohtani, 18 homers, 50 RBIs to go along with his 8 wins on the mound and a 1.79 ERA. Andy Pages hitting .269 with 16 homers, 62 RBIs. And you see Yoshinobu Yamamoto, tonight's starting pitcher, has 8 wins, .267 ERA, and 90 strikeouts. And
yeah, listen, obviously all 5 are well-deserving. You know, starting with Shohei Ohtani, who's the best athlete in the world in any sport. No disrespect to Messi in the World Cup, but what Shohei Ohtani's been doing the last several years, offensively, defensively, second to none. Freddie Freeman, we talked about Andy Pages as well. These guys are deserving. And listen, the Dodgers have the best record in the National League, and it's great that they have 5 All-Star selection. I'm hoping as we get closer to the All-Star game, that number climbs to 7, because certainly Justin Robleski deserves to be an All-Star, and also Tanner Scott.
It's an honor when you get selected as an All-Star, and you know what? Should be Pages' second time in there, but really it's only his first. But he deserves this to be number 2. Really think about this young man and how excited I am. You can look at Ohtani at 8 of them. You can look at Freeman at 10 of them. You can look at the other guys with Max Muncy. But today, I think the happiest people in the locker room are the teammates of Andy Pages. That is where their focus is. The other guys deserve it. Andy deserves it even more.
Kirsten Watson joins us live, and she has an update on the man who earns more All-Star votes than anybody else, Shohei Ohtani. Hi there, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Well, last night for Shohei Ohtani, after completing his 6 innings of work, then, of course, the 3 at-bats, he was taken out of the game. He was pinch hit 4 in the 7th by Miguel Rojas. So that did bring up a lot of question marks, considering it's not often or ever that we see that. When he spoke to the media afterwards, he shared that his right bicep, it tightened up. After a second at-bat, he added that he only felt it when he was hitting, not when he was pitching on the mound. And Dave Roberts shared that they were going to keep him out of the lineup today. That has stayed the plan, but Dave Roberts did give an update on Shohei this afternoon as to how he's feeling.
Got treatment last night. Today feels considerably better. So obviously he's not in there to start, and we'll just kind of see how the day goes as far as availability tonight.
Are you hopeful that he'll be back in the lineup tomorrow, or do you want to get
I think I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Just if things trend the way we would expect, that he'll be in there tomorrow.
Did Shohei have any tests, scans, MRI?
No scans.
Do you expect this to interrupt like his direct progression this week at all?
I don't think so, given that he felt it swinging and he feels much better today. So I wouldn't say that, you know, tomorrow when he plays catch, I wouldn't say that it would affect it.
At what point would you want to make the decision? You said that it's still on the table for him to skip that next one. At what point would you want to make that decision?
Well, I think the first step is how he feels tomorrow, and then the days, you know, forthcoming. So we don't need to make that decision today, tomorrow, the next day. So we have time, and I think for us it's just more of, you know, reading and reacting on how he feels.
The good news when it comes to that right bicep, Shohei Ohtani shared yesterday that it's something that he experienced about a month or 2 ago earlier this season, and he didn't keep him out of the lineup. Dave Roberts even added that he wasn't aware that he was dealing with the bicep injury earlier this year, or even just tightening up of it. So that's a good sign, although the fact that he's feeling better today, likely available off the bench, and hopefully back in the lineup tomorrow. The question is still on the table as to what that next start is going to look like. He's scheduled to have one more before the All-Star game. That would be against the Diamondbacks next weekend. So that conversation's still on the table if he's going to continue with that. They're hopeful that he will, but it is unlikely that he's going to be pitching in the All-Star game, guys.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto gets the start tonight, his first in July. After having a great month of June, Yoshi went 3-1 last month, a 2.22 ERA. The whip was ridiculous, 0.64, 21 strikeouts, only 4 walks. And of course, he took a perfect game into the 8th inning against the White Sox, eventually lost his no-hitter in the 9th inning. This will be the 3rd time Yamamoto has faced the Padres this season, had a tough luck loss or a 1-0 in San Diego in May. Then he beat the Padres last weekend at Petco Park. So what will you be looking for against the Padres in this 3rd start from Yamamoto?
Well, you hope he has his fastball location. You hope he gets into good pitchers counts. But what I really think you're going to see with him tonight is he is going to lean on the split finger. The Padres do not hit that pitch very well, and his is one of the best in baseball. He can go at you with the curveball. He can come at you with his cutter or his slider. But the foundation of his arsenal is his fastball location, down and up when he climbs the ladder, and then coming out of the low fastball window, that split finger. And I think these Padres are going to have a lot of frustration tonight, losing those 2 come from behind games. And I think that, you know what, they're going to be hacking. And if he makes it look like a strike, end up a ball, he's going to do pretty well.
Absolutely. Obviously, when Yoshi has that fastball command, especially down in the zone on both sides, in and out, that really makes that split finger devastating, because to the hitter, it looks just like a fastball at the knees and darts out of the zone. He'll mix in that breaking ball as well, and he's had success.
How about this? Yamamoto. Just continuing to work through his mechanics. Even with 9 Ks on the night. How about the reacts, by the way? I mean, he threw that like fairly hard right off the wall.
Just thinking that. I was like, that's breaking my nose. 1,000. Yeah. It's a master.
He really is, honestly. I mean, just working through those feels. I mean, he doesn't sit down. I love that, like, no one else is phased, too, in the dugout. He's on his own planet right now. Still at 87 pitches here in the 7th inning. I mean, just talk about a breath. You know, all these consecutive games, for him to be able to just get into the 7th inning.
For the 14th time in 16 starts that Yamamoto has pitched 6+ innings.
And you take it for granted. I mean, honestly, you blink and he's in the 6th every game. And even when he's quote unquote struggling, meaning, okay, he's at a couple walks maybe, will continue to battle, even get into 100 pitches if he needs to.
Pitch 100 from Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Gets strikeout 100 on the season. He matches his career high with 10 Ks tonight. 7 scoreless in the book.
To finish off this 7th inning, too, that beautiful splitter to get him to 100 Ks. 10 on the night. Yamamoto keeping these Padres scoreless.
The Dodgers beat the San Diego Padres for the 3rd straight day. There was not going to be any comeback needed in this game because Yoshinobu Yamamoto dominated the Padres for 7 scoreless innings, and it was the fellow All-Stars. Andy Pages gave them the lead early. Freddie Freeman tacked on with a home run, Jerry, and also had another RBI single late. 10th shutout win of the year for the Dodgers.
We talk about starting pitching, setting the tone, and Yamamoto set the tone against a really good Padres team. A Padres lineup that's seen him an awful long time. But Yamamoto, great job, great fastball command, outstanding breaking ball to go along with a split. Then the offense did just enough, led by Fab Five Freddy.
Yeah, you know, you're talking about the stars and stripes today, right? 4th of July, and you got 3 of the 5 Dodger All-Stars that come through, and that was a lot of fun to watch. With Yamamoto on the mound with his 10 strikeouts, there was nothing they could look for again. In the pregame show, we talked about if he's hitting his spots with 4 or 5 different pitches, watch out. Well, that watch out happened. There were 10 Ks.
Pinpoint command we saw tonight from Yoshinobu Yamamoto results in a 3-0 Dodger victory.
Freddie, ahead of this game, you were named to your 10th All-Star game, so first and foremost, congratulations. So what does that just mean to you, to be named a starter for the National League?
Yeah, it's amazing. I just want to say thank you to the fans for voting me in. It's special. Every All-Star game, it's a special one to go to. Get to have family pictures and do all that kind of stuff. So I know my boys are happy. I would say my girl too, but I don't think she knows what's going on yet. So no, it's going to be awesome. 10 All-Star, more special experience, yeah.
And you guys got to just kind of tap it up with the win tonight. Let's start with Yoshinobu Yamamoto. What were you seeing from him in those innings of work, and then including the 10 strikeouts?
Yoshinobu is Yoshinobu. I mean, he's one of the best pitchers in the game. He can put the ball where he wants. He had everything working. high velo, high command. He's just special to watch every 6-7 days sometimes, but he had everything going tonight.
To give him the run support, you had a 2-hit game tonight. But let's start with the home run. Saw him on that third pitch. What were you just looking for?
I was looking something up. I had the opportunity in the previous at bat that I didn't get the job done, so I felt like I needed to do something, and I got into a hitter's count, and I know it was a sweeper thing, but I was able to get it up and put a good swing on it.
During the spring, you told us that it irks you when you are not batting 300 on the season. Have you had a chance to look up at the scoreboard just to see how close you are right now?
Yeah, we're close. My dad reminds me, so we're getting there. We're on our way. We're trekking toward it. Yeah, the last 6-7 weeks have been much better. My swing's in a good spot, so hopefully we can continue it through the break.
Yoshi, you've been named to your second All-Star game. Just first, congratulations. What does that just mean to you personally?
まずオールスター選出今年も、おめでとうございます。山本さんにとってオールスターに選出されるというのはどういう意味を持ちますか？
本当に心からすごく光栄に思いますし、去年参加させていただいて、ますますその喜びというか、そこにいられる嬉しさを感じたので、今年も、選んでいただいてすごく嬉しく思います。
It's been such an honor to be selected on that All-Star team, and I was there last year, and then this year I feel more like a meaningful and a happiness this year.
With your outing today, the 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, just what do you think led to the success you had on the mound and navigating through their lineup?
今日、7回シャットアウトの10奪三振、そこ良くなった要因っていうのはどこにあると思いますか？
ストレートも、変化球もすごく強いボールが投げれてたと思いますし、しっかり納得いくフォームで、力を込めて投げれたと思います。
All my stuff was good, fastball, all speed, everything was working out pretty well. And then also my mechanics, I was pretty much satisfied.
What makes this All-Star selection so meaningful?
このオールスターに選ばれたっていうことが、山本さんにとって今おっしゃったようなそういう光栄な意味とかそういう意味があるっていうのはなぜですか？そのオールスターに選ばれて。
さっき言ったように去年も参加してその特別さも嬉しさも、味わいましたし、また今年もそこにいられることを嬉しく思います。
Like I said, I was there, and then I felt meaningful time, and then happiness, and then honor last year. So I tasted it last year, and then going back there, that's why it's me.
And you did talk about the pregame show, and you touched on at the top of this show about Yoshinobu Yamamoto, how he has 4 pitches, 5 pitches, maybe 6 pitches that are great. And when they're all working, I mean, good luck to the San Diego Padres, because tonight he seemed like he had pinpoint command and had control of all those pitches.
Yeah, when you watch Yamamoto and he has all of his pitches and you think about what is going on with the San Diego Padres, well, I think fans at home know the red zones and the green zones as far as like where hitters can hit the ball real well and where they don't. Well, if you want to know the scouting report on the San Diego Padre hitters, just watch the game tonight. He is going and attacking all their red zones. He doesn't struggle with location tonight. He doesn't struggle with changing speeds. He doesn't struggle with putting them away. Well, why? Because he knows from the scouting report, all the red zones, he knows every one of his pitches are locked in for location. So he just attacks in places where they can't hit. And you know what? If a pitcher has one of his pitches, you can compete. And if he has 2, you can start to work on the scouting report. When you have as many as he did tonight, he's just tearing them apart.
Looking at those swings, these are good hitters. And I just saw Cronenworth chase that high fastball, and I saw his reaction. I've been there, because you walk into a game, and probably his last start, he chased a high fastball. I go, I'm coming here, and I'm going to face Pedro Martinez, and I'm not swinging at the high fastball. What I do, I swing at a high fastball, and you're so upset. But you remember, and I said it on the pregame show, when you're facing Yamamoto, when you're facing Earl Hershiser in 1988, Pedro Martinez 1999, they have 6, 7 type of pitches. Yeah, maybe 3 or 4, but they can shape certain pitches different ways, different parts of the plate, and that's what makes them a nightmare. That comeback cutter to Cronenworth,
yes,
3-2. Are you out of your mind?
What did Cronenworth say? He said something like, "You got to be kidding me."
You got to be kidding. Again, he has 4 or 5 pitches, but he pitched to all 4 quadrants of the strike, so nothing in the middle of the plate. So to the hitter, it feels like he's got 9, 10 different pitches. Hitters hit mistakes, so you're hunting middle of the plate or something in you could drive. For him to live on the corners and have complete command of all those pitches, and I said it earlier, it's a nightmare trying to square up Yamamoto.
We can highlight the split finger. We can highlight the high fastball and the velocity. The highlight tonight for me with him is all of a sudden he hasn't thrown a curveball or a cutter for 15, 17 pitches. Maybe he's been 2 innings sometimes, and he can pull the trigger on a pitch that he just pulls out of his back pocket and executes it perfectly. That is so hard to do.
And you reminded me, Or, when you pitched, you were kind of like a surgeon on the mound when you were on. And Yamamoto reminds me of that same kind of pitcher where when he is dialed in, he can do whatever he wants with the baseball. And it's so much fun for me, and I think for a lot of fans, to watch someone surgically take apart the other team.
He is he's so much fun for anybody who thinks about pitching to, do, because the generation now is like hard and a breaking ball, hard and a breaking ball, up because of the swing pass. But you know what? He pitches. And I think in this generation, we're learning that pitchers are coming back to the forefront on you need to throw 2 or 3, 4 pitches. You need to execute them in their location with late movement and stop going for 98 miles an hour with no location. Go for 94, 95, 93 and hit your spot.
Yamamoto's been great all season long, but what was it like watching him out there today?
He's been great his whole Dodger career, his whole Japanese career. He's just a great pitcher. He really is. He's special. When you have that kind of velocity on your heater, splitters at 93, 94, and you can put the ball wherever you want in a strike zone. It doesn't matter how hard you throw. If you hit spots, hitters can't hit it. He's a special pitcher, and glad he's on our side.
Barely halfway past, just past the halfway mark, and you have a 15-game lead. I mean, that sounds absurd. What's it feel like?
We got a good team. We're playing really good baseball. That's what happens.
For Andy to get his first All-Star nod, how special is that?
Yeah, well, it should be his second. I think he should have had it last year. Andy's been great for a couple of years now, so I'm glad he's getting the recognition. So I'm glad the fans are going to get to see him in Philadelphia.
I think one comment in there, Oral, said everything you really needed to know. And Yamamoto saying, all of my stuff was good tonight.
It really was. And you know what? He started it off with a bang. Freddie joined in. Pages joined in. Let's take a look at the K-zone and how good this guy was tonight. Because if you can find a location that he is wearing out, you're not going to find it. But you're going to find locations that he is hitting everywhere. Starts in the bottom right there off of low fastball. Then let's go up to the top. Maybe you should go outside now, Yama. Oh yeah, we hit that. Watch the targets and then watch the execution of these pitches. All my stuff is working tonight. I get it. And what he does is, if he does miss a little bit, he's not missing to the middle of the plate. Yeah, was that up a slightly hanging curveball? Yeah, but it was the first one in about 20 pitches he threw. He is completely on the edge. He is completely changing speeds. He's completely not pitching the hitters the same exact way in the next at bat. He was on his game. If this was a World Series game or a playoff game, he'd have gone 9. He'd have been amazing.
There's a word for it as hitters. When you run into a guy like this, A game, A stuff, you ran into a buzzsaw tonight. That's what we say. You get mad and frustrated as a hitter when you miss pitches you should hit. If the pitcher gives you something over the plate, I can't count 2 or 3 pitches that Yamamoto made mistakes on.
Right.
I mean, he was on everything. I keep going back to that Cronenworth 3-2 cutter. If I'm him, I'm looking, okay, he's either going to go fastball up or maybe the split, or he may throw a cutter or slider down and then give me a chase. The last pitch I'm looking for is a cutter out of, there's that pitch, out of third that goes around the plate and comes back and touches the outside corner. That is extremely frustrating. So, again, you tip your hat as a hitter that Yamamoto, when he's on his A game, it is tough sledding. You just hope your guy on the other side tries to match him 0 for 0, and hopefully you try to win it late in the ball game. That did not happen tonight.
I've heard Jerry with what he's talked about in the locker room after coming in after this kind of an outing, and you're encouraging your offense, like, just turn the page, because this isn't going to happen every night. Right. And we know it isn't. But you know what? Against this Dodgers staff, it can happen often.
And against Yamamoto, it can certainly happen often as well. And it certainly happened tonight to the San Diego Padres. Dodgers 3-0 winners on a great
This one was all Yoshinobu Yamamoto and the Dodgers. Boy, he was sharp on this 4th of July. 7 scoreless. He would strike out 10 Padres, where they really had hoped for a little better outcome, but you knew it was going to be tough sledding right out of the gate facing Yamamoto.
That's exactly right. You got a team that's struggling right now in the Padres. To your point, you're facing Yamamoto. He's been throwing the ball great of late, so it's going to be an uphill battle no matter what. I thought Yamamoto actually opened the door a crack. We'll talk about that in a moment. Padres were not able to take advantage. Close game, but unfortunately, Padres come out on the wrong side again, Mike.
Let's take a closer look at Yamamoto. Exactly what you see from him you thought was most impressive, aside from the fact the Padres did have a shot?
Well, I love the fact that he used his 2-seamer and his 4-seamer incredibly effective tonight. 4-seam fastballs for strikes 7 out of 8 times. He used the sinker as well like that. He's running it in on the righties, down and away on the lefties, up and down, up and down. He used the split finger and the slider and the cutter as well, but he didn't really throw those for strikes. He was 80% strikes with the fastballs, Mike. He was about 50% on the cutters and the sliders, but he didn't need to throw a ton of strike with those pitches because he was getting hit with the fastball. He could use those other pitches to expand the zone. So it was really a clinic in terms of how you use your fastball to get ahead, moving it up and down effectively, and then not putting pressure on your breaking pitches. It was just really a stellar effort on his part.
I really liked your report in game talking about the only way you can get to Yamamoto is to get somebody on early, but even when you have it, the stuff is so filthy, it's hard to barrel up.
Yeah, so the topic was, and I appreciate you bringing it up, that when you score on Yamamoto, basically you've got to do it by getting that leadoff man on. And the 29 runs that he's allowed this season, 21 of them have come when the opposing team has gotten their leadoff man to start the inning on base. Once you do that, you got him out of the stretch, you can put a little bit of pressure on him. That's about the only way that you're going to score. 21 of the 29 runs that have been scored off him so far this season happened in innings where they were able to get the leadoff man on base against him. The Padres did that.
Yeah.
They did it in the first
inning
and the second inning as well. So at first I thought, okay, here's our opportunities. We got that leadoff man on. Let's see if they can get something done. Unfortunately, they let those opportunities slip by, and they weren't able to do it the rest of the night.
Yeah, Yamamoto threw a good game. He's a good pitcher. We've been battling pretty hard offensively and doing a little bit better today. Not the case. He kind of shoved it against us, and it's one of those days. It sucks that it's in this time frame where we're struggling as a team, but we got to pick up the pieces and bounce back tomorrow.